Welcome everyone to the first of our flipped lessons. Today what we're going to be working on is the nonfiction argumentative essay. Specifically, we're going to be working on creating body paragraphs. We've already done introductions for our nonfiction argumentative essay, so now it's time for the next step, which will be body paragraphs. Fortunately, body paragraphs for this essay aren't really going to be any different from the body paragraphs for the literary essay. So if you did a good job in the literary essay body paragraphs, you're going to be fine with these ones too. But just to review, we'll take a look at the parts of a body paragraph. You do not have to copy this down because you already have it in your notes. But to review, the first part of a body paragraph is the topic sentence. Basically, in a topic sentence, you are explaining to the reader exactly what you will prove in that paragraph. Before you even start writing the paragraph, you just want to explain what's going to happen in it. After the topic sentence, it's time for your evidence. Now is when you're going to really prove your point using all that research, all that data that you looked up. Now it's time to put that into the essay and really prove your point. Then finally, you'll end the body paragraph with the concluding sentence. In this sentence, you just restate what you've proven in the paragraph. So, topic, what you're going to prove, evidence, use the data, prove it, and concluding sentence, here's what I've proven. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at the mini lesson. Please copy down this mini lesson in your writer's notebook, both bullets. When creating body paragraphs for the nonfiction argumentative essay, it is essential that you fully explain all of the data and evidence that you present. So, as you know, every body paragraph should have some type of clear evidence, some type of quote, some type of data to prove your point. When it comes to nonfiction argumentative essays, it's essential that you explain that data. How does that data help you prove your point? Why are you putting in these percentages? Why are you putting in these studies? Why are you putting in these quotes? What does that mean? How does it help you prove your point? You need to do that. Otherwise, all that info that you're putting in is just going to seem confusing. So especially for this essay, it's important that you explain that research you've done so it makes it clear for the reader how those quotes, how that data relates to your point. And just a reminder, since we are creating an 8-paragraph essay, each reason must have 2 body paragraphs. I'm going to move on, but you can take a moment, pause the slideshow, and make sure that you get all the notes down. But I'm going to continue. Now, as always, I like to start with my essay cake outline. As you can see at the top, I have my thesis, then I have reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, and then under each reason I have multiple pieces of evidence. Since this is an 8-paragraph essay, each reason must have 2 body paragraphs. So, section 1 is reason 1, and that has 2 body paragraphs. Section 2 is reason 2, and that has 2 body paragraphs. And section 3 is reason 3, and that has 2 body paragraphs. So you can see that it looks like this: body 1, body 2, body 3, body 4, body 5, and body 6. Combine 6 body paragraphs with an intro and a conclusion, and you have an 8-paragraph essay. Now, I'm not going to write out all the body paragraphs with you right now. All I'm going to do is write out one of them. So to write out one, what I'm going to do is just focus in on section 1. So I'm going to turn the page, and in my notebook, I'm just looking at section 1 now. Now this is section 1, paragraph 1. Since each section needs 2 body paragraphs, I want to focus on this one, and I'm not going to work with this one yet. I'm going to work with that when I get to body paragraph number 2, but I'm only writing 1 body paragraph right now, so I'm just focusing in on my first piece of evidence there within my reason. Okay, now that I know what I'm focusing on, it's time to actually start writing. Just trying to think, what are my 3 parts? Yes, okay. So the first part is the topic sentence. In this sentence, I'm basically just going to explain what's coming up in my body paragraph. So let me try it out. Topic sentence. The first major reason why I believe that the United States should build schools in other countries, there's my thesis, is that underprivileged children will have the chance to learn. That's my reason number one. Sadly, many children around the world do not have the opportunity to get a good education. Good, so that's a good topic sentence. I just combined my thesis and my reason into a nice, clean sentence that explains what's going on in this paragraph. Okay, now it's time for me to get into that first column of evidence. So here goes. Specifically, so you can see I'm getting specific now because evidence is specific. Specifically, in some remote areas of Pakistan, the children do not even have school buildings or supplies to use. This complete lack of educational structures and materials is especially clear in the book 3 Cups of Tea, when the author explains how the children in a small Pakistani village, quote, sat down in the dirt and began writing their multiplication tables. A few had slates on which they wrote with sticks dipped in mud. The rest scratched in the dirt with sticks. So there was a quote that I had already found, because you can see right there in my outline, I had already found it, and I thought that quote really helped prove my point. So you can see I introduced the quote, then I just wrote out the quote, and I think it really helps my point. The thing is, anytime you put a quote, remember what we went over in the mini lesson, anytime you put a quote into your essay, you need to explain the quote. So I didn't just end with a quote there. Now I'm going to explain why is that important, why is that relevant, and here we go. The fact that the students are sitting outside in the dirt while writing their lessons in mud emphasizes just how needy these children are. Now you can see how I've explained the quote, so now the quote becomes important to my piece. Only if a quote is explained is it good, and I've done that well here. Now I'm done with my evidence. So the final piece, if I look back, is the concluding sentence. This example clearly shows the educational deficit in this area and reinforces the need for building schools. There. I've basically said what I proved in my paragraph. So, everyone sees now how I got an entire body paragraph just out of that one piece of evidence on the left. That's body 1. Next, I would move on to the crossed out one for body paragraph number 2. But I'm not going to get into that now, just so you guys don't have to keep watching this video that is lasting forever. So instead, I'm going to give you guys a chance to actually get to your work. So, your turn. What you're going to do right now is create the first body paragraph of your first section just as I did. Don't forget to explain all of your evidence and data. And then in class tomorrow, we'll work on creating the remaining 5 body paragraphs. So you're creating 1 now, and you'll do the 5 tomorrow in class. Of course, you can feel free to replay any part of the video, and don't forget to use the pause button if necessary. If you have any questions about this, just write them down, bring them into class tomorrow, and we'll go over them, and I'll make sure everyone is clear on this. But that's that. I hope everything is clear, and if you need to rewatch anything, please feel free to do so, and I will talk to you about it tomorrow. Have a good night.